It's the 50th birthday of an automotive darling, the Ford Capri. The distinctive 2+2 coupe debuted on the market in 1969. Often called the German Mustang, the Capri looked like a sports car, but only cost as much as a compact. For the celebration, 20 Capri owners have brought their spotless cars together at the Ford plant in Cologne. Their destination is Castle Dijk for the Classic Days, an annual vintage car event that's already a red-letter date on the Automotive Classics calendar. Many car make clubs gather to form a motley crowd for this leather and chrome garden party and display their prides and joys. For the anniversary, the Ford Capri Club has set up an extra-large stand this year. Taking the lead possession in the Capri parade are the first-generation models. The Marc I managed 60 horsepower with its four-cylinder engine, giving it a top speed of 140 km per hour. Capri driver Tim Willenweber recalls that the night before his 19th birthday, he dreamt that he should play the lottery. He did and got 5 numbers right, which won him 3,500 Deutsche Marks for his birthday, enough for him to afford a car. The one he bought wasn't just like the one standing here now. He's customised it over the years. The proud owner points out how the light grey accentuates the original model's fine contours. He's been able to do most of the maintenance for the 1500L himself. The mechanics are simple and straightforward, unlike in other sports cars with their highly complex technology that can exasperate even the most skilled car owners. Would Tim Willenweber ever part with his Capri? He most certainly wouldn't. He'd rather cut off his own arm. In 2005, he was in dire financial straits and couldn't pay the mortgage on his house, so with a heavy heart he decided to sell the car. But he had such pangs of conscience that after a few weeks he called up the buyer and bought the car back. Now his daughter Jana has caught the Capri bug as well. She grew up with it, she says. Her dad always used to take her along to the Capri meets. As a little girl, she was excited by the Capris with their long noses and told her dad when she turned 18, she wanted to go to the Capri meets right alongside him. A mint condition second-generation Capri is also here in Modena green with the biggest engine of the range, a 3-litre V6. That gave the Capri the power to go with the looks. This 1974 model achieves 138 horsepower and a top speed of nearly 200 km per hour. The top equipment level was designated the gear. This one has been kept in authentically original condition. Then came the 3 Series, the final generation. This 1984 model, powered by a 2-litre inline 4-cylinder engine, put out 101 horsepower. Owner Marc Keiterling sees the special part of it as simply that it's his car. It has been for 32 years now. His father helped him to buy it for his 18th birthday, so to him it's a very special car. Marc was at a stoplight in Cologne and another driver said he'd give him 10,000 euros for his car on the spot. Marc said no. The man then said 20,000. Marc said no. The man said, well then 100,000. Marc said no. This Capri is my first car and I'd never sell it.
Ja, dann 100.000 Euro. Ich gesagt, nein, ist nicht, weil es ein Capri ist. Mein Auto, mein erstes Auto, würde ich niemals verkaufen. Never ever.
Only 48 units of the convertible Capri were ever built on order with the Karl Deutsch coach builder in Cologne. Gregor Reininger heard the story of this unique 1972 model straight from the son of the company founder. Gregor met him in 2017. The son had talked about the idea with his father and uncle for so long, they finally agreed to convert the 2.6 RS, so it's the only convertible variant of it. What is the ultimate source of all this passion? Gregor blames his father, who always drove Fords, while Gregor spent his childhood in the back seat. So he sees it as quite understandable that as a teenager he would choose some sporty model from Cologne as his first car. That's how he got his first Capri. A part of the classic days at Keiterling are the laps on the short racetrack. It's quite an experience for the participants, even if the pace is nice and leisurely. But the original Capri held its own in motorsports of the day. In 1972, Thomas Ammerschläger went to Ford to get the Capri in shape for the track. This was one result. Thomas Ammerschläger points out the final racing Capri's 3.4-litre Cosworth engine with a ducktail that reduced lift and drag on the rear axle. These were alterations that proved the Capri's basic design was suited to motorsports. This was the car that carried racing legend Jochen Maas to his victories on the track. Now he's a guest at Keiterling, busily signing autographs. Thomas sees the year 74 as different because BMW enjoyed greater freedom to develop the aerodynamics, but the board at Capri wouldn't approve it. So the Beamers had rear spoilers and, of course, far better aerodynamics and less lift. But the Capri's designers weren't allowed to try that. They came up with the ducktail, and by late 1974, the BMW CSL was a little better. But optically at least, the racing Capri had nothing to worry about from the BMW CSL. The sportier models built for street driving were badged with an RS. The birthday meet proves that Capri's legend lives on.